Hi everyone, it's Allison, and I'm just jumping on late to pick up on one of the 31 Days of Tarot challenge, Ethany's Tarot challenge. I knew when I started that I might do some late entries. January is super busy. What are you going to do? But I like this one. It's fun to watch what other people do. So this is actually day 19. I'm doing it on day 20, and I might jump ahead and do day 22, I think, today. Oh, we'll see how my time goes. But it's about if you were stranded on a desert island, what five tarot or oracle decks would you have with you, or do you want to have with you? And it's hard. Man, it was a lot harder than I thought, actually. And what it's going to come down to is me talking about some decks I've already talked about a little bit before, because those are the ones I naturally gravitate to. But I love all of them, and it was sort of heartbreaking to think about, particularly because I've talked many times about how I enjoy tarot much more than oracle decks. So there's no oracle decks on my list, even though that was an option. Although I have to say, to leave behind soul cards was tough. I just felt like I would get more mileage out of the tarot cards. There's more often to look at. But if I could have six, then I would choose soul cards. But I wasn't. I was good with myself, and I only chose five. And they won't be surprises to anybody if you've been watching any of these. So the first, I mean, come on, Waite Smith, classic. I chose the Centennial edition because I think it is the most of classic of all of them. I do love the Pamela Coleman Smith RWS recoloration. I also have talked a lot in this challenge about the borderless version of the Centennial edition, which has a bit of a darker back. But the thing about the borderless edition, and the reason I chose this one just for this challenge over it, even though I really do sort of use them both interchangeably, is that in order to make it borderless and keep the aspect ratio, that's sort of a film thing, but just to keep the proportions correct, they added artwork to the borderless just on the sides so it could fill out. And I mean, just sort of extending, in this card, it would be extending the sky, the cloud line, the horizon on both sides. And I have no problem with that. I think the deck is beautiful. I love the extra space. But if I was going to go for a Pamela Coleman Smith, then I would want like the most legit, not legit, that's wrong, but just the most classic of all of them. And for me, that's this one. So give me the borders, give me the muted colors, give me the lovely cardstock. Everybody knows this one, but I want it. Wouldn't want to be there without it. So that's number one. Number two is I wouldn't want to go like I'm planning my trip to my desert island. Without the Anna K Tarot. I just grabbed the top stack of cards. I'm really trying not to drop cards in this video. It's a real goal for me because I haven't been successful once with not dropping cards. So I'm holding them down and pulling them up one at a time. I will still probably drop because that's who I am. But I talked about how the Anna K is, I chose it for my most intuitive deck without reading books or taking classes or anything, just right off of the card, and I still stand by that. It's a beautiful deck, and because it surprised me so much, it makes my list. It found a place in my heart that even after I'd ordered it, I didn't think it would probably have. I thought I might pass it along. I didn't think I'd necessarily jive with the artwork. Really, it was the enthusiastic endorsement of so many other people who love this deck, where I was like, okay, it's not that expensive, and I'll give it a shot. Like that Five of Swords depiction is actually quite different from the Waite Smith, but there's no mistaking the emotion behind it. The Devil card is very lecherous, but I just think it's great. And because I did this sort of special work with it, it has a little special place in my heart. Oh, I love that ace. I talked about this one more extensively before too. Ten of Swords is interesting. Like he's actually up and walking away. That's fantastic. So Anna K. So, one more. I love this deck. Okay, so my Anna K would go with me. Third, Alchemical Tarot by Robert Place. There are 4, I think, currently versions of the Alchemical Tarot. This is the 3rd. I got this used. I paid enough for it. I really love the backs on this one. For someone who doesn't read reversals, I just thought this back was the best. I thought it was so rocking. I can understand how you wouldn't like it if you did want to incorporate reversals. But the reason I chose this, and I assume in my shipwreck or my plane crash or whatever has happened to me in this disaster where I'm now on a desert island, that my guidebooks get to come, as well as any guidebooks. Oh, there's my dog. Any guidebooks that I have yet to purchase. And I want a Robert Place deck because I am going to be bored on that desert island. And I feel like I have so much to learn. He's written so much. There's so much valuable information. And I do use this deck and I do love it. I just read with it intuitively or with my Rider-Waite Smith knowledge. I know there's so much more it has to offer. Did I show this Hermit in my video about my favorite cards? But man, that Hermit is gorgeous. So I know that I'm getting things out of this deck for sure, but I know there's more. And you could do a really deep dive and study in this one. And that's what I would like to do to pass the time and to deepen my knowledge. And we'll probably, oh, look at this moon card. Come on. Tonight is the super blood wolf full moon eclipse thing. So I am going to bundle up. It's with wind chill right now where I am. It's about minus 38 Celsius. So I'm going to freeze my little hiney off. But I got to go out there and see that. Yeah, so Alchemical Tarot, Robert Place. It was a tough call between this and the Sevenfold Mystery. But the reality is I just got the Sevenfold Mystery. And so this one I know for sure I want to take. And I'm just getting into Sevenfold Mystery. So there we go. Next, again, I nobody's more surprised than me that I have talked about this deck so much. It's such an interesting exercise to go through these prompts and really be like, wow, that come up way more than I thought. But I would take my Halloween tarot because I've been enjoying revisiting it in January so much. Usually I just pull it out around October. I talked about my go-to cards, my strength card and my hermit card. You should check that video out if you like those cards. God, that card cracks me up. Because it makes me happy. And I think if I were alone on a desert island, I'd want some happiness. It's very faithful to the Rider-Waite Smith. It's quirky and it's fun and it's adorable, but man, look at the 5 of bats. So in this case, bats are swords, and I mean, it's exactly the same feeling, but this idea of a bully stealing little kids' Halloween candy and one asking for it back and one turning away to cry. I mean, it gives you everything you need from a tarot deck. My cat lies like that on me and she's black. With this incredible whimsy and inner child, and it's just so great. And I gotta thank this tarot challenge for reminding me how great it is, how much I'm enjoying it in January, whereas normally I've just been like, well, Halloween, time to pull out the Halloween tarot. And then I get all wrapped up in Christmassy things and I put it away without really thinking about it. But now it's at the front of my shelf and it's clearly going to stay there for a while because I love it so much. Oh, see, I dropped one, but it was off camera. So you didn't see it. And I could go on and on. Anyway, what a great deck. And finally, again, probably not going to be a surprise. And I took all the decks out of their boxes. And where did I put it? Oh, God. It's right next to my left hand. Sorry, I know I don't want to fumble with boxes either in my videos. So I did my best to make a good video. And, well, I'm learning. Naked Heart. Naked Heart. It's the deck I'm working with right now. Speaking of tonight's full moon, I'm going to take this card out with me. How perfect is that? Can't wait. But I've been doing my daily draws with this card. I've been journaling. My New Year's resolution is to keep up with personal journaling and thinking about things. And this is the deck that I'm using because I had such a profound experience with it in December. And Hasn't let me down. I love the way it looks. I love animals in decks. I'm a big animal person. And, I'm probably anthropomorphizing, but oh well. I just think it is, oops. I think it is gorgeous. And I just literally at this point, when this question came up, I was like, well, not ready to live without that. So it's coming to my island. And I will use it there. Again, it's also got this great guidebook that I'm really, really enjoying. I'm trying not to break the spine is the only thing because it's so little. You have to sort of crank it open to read it, but it fits in the box, which is really nice. Um, and I just feel like it would give me comfort and thought, and it's just the greatest. I just love it so much. A couple more because we're here. And of course, they would not be water damaged in any way, and they would maintain their beautiful, clean condition, and they would sustain me until inevitably I was rescued and taken out to dinner. So those are my 5 decks. Thank you to the people who've already made this because I know I'm already so late. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you later.